What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing a Manchester City transfer update. This January transfer window that's coming up is going to be one of the most important transfer windows for Manchester City in recent time. Very important, very interesting. I am going to keep you guys up to date every single step of the way with my daily Manchester City transfer updates, rolling from January 1st throughout the whole January transfer window. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too. Going to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 200 likes is the aim. Do get your thoughts as well in the comments below. Which players would you like to see Manchester City make a move for in January? Let me know in the comments below. Finally, you might notice my face might be a little lopsided. I have just had some dental work done. So if you're wondering if I might be slurring or it looks slightly droopy or anything, my mouth still a little numb, but we're going to persevere. We've got no contract news. We're going to hit straight in with the outs, and we've got an update on Kevin de Bruyne. And Graeme Bailey has said that San Diego, who are the club most interested in signing Kevin de Bruyne right now, don't want to wait until the summer to sign Kevin de Bruyne. They want to make a move in January to try and sign him. Now, if they do decide to make a move, they would have to negotiate a fee with Manchester City, and there is no way that Manchester City sell Kevin de Bruyne in January because we'd need a replacement. We're not going to get a replacement for Kevin de Bruyne in January. So I just don't see how Kevin de Bruyne leaves Manchester City in January unless a really crazy offer comes in. But why would they put a crazy offer in when on January 31st, any club outside of the Premier League or in England can put a pre-contract agreement in place to sign Kevin de Bruyne for no fee whatsoever and get him on July 1st of 2025. I just don't see that happening. It makes no sense. If San Diego sign Kevin de Bruyne, it will be in the summer rather than in the winter transfer window here in the United Kingdom. So, moving on to the ins. Firstly, the Mail. They have said that Manchester City could sign as many as 4 players this January. Central midfield is Manchester City's priority. City are believed to be looking at a backup striker. They're also interested in defenders, including a centre-back and a right-back. 4 players in the January transfer window is a lot of players to be brought in mid-season. You've got to remember, a lot of players don't like leaving mid-season, so it'll be difficult to make transfers happen. I reckon City will be doing business in January. I can see maybe 2 signings being brought in rather than 4, but I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. 4 does seem a little excessive, but Manchester City, they need to transition, they need players to be brought in, they need depth, they need options. So they do need 4 players. I'd be very surprised if they do go for 4 players. But if they do go for 4 players, maybe just one final blowout for Chicky before he leaves Manchester City in the summer. So moving on, interesting one this one. Also don't see it happening either, but the Independent have said that Manchester City are considering Paul Pogba on a free in January, but apparently Paul Pogba is reluctant on this move due to his association with Manchester United previously. To me, no chance that Man City decide to make a move for Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba isn't a grafter. He won't work hard for Pep Guardiola, and it's exactly the kind of signing that Manchester City don't do. And to me, paper talk, nothing more. Don't see City making a move for Paul Pogba. Now moving on, we are getting linked with Jeremie Frimpong, and David Ornstein at The Athletic has confirmed that Manchester City are keen on signing Jeremie Frimpong. Now, Bayer Leverkusen, they're not keen to sell until the summer rather than in this January transfer window, and they want his release clause meeting, which I do believe is set at around £34 million, which to me is a pretty good deal, and I wouldn't hesitate to bring Jeremie Frimpong back to Manchester City for such an affordable deal. Nice versatile player, can play right back, right wing back and right wing, and I think he'd be a good option on the right hand side. I think defensively he leaves a little bit to be desired, so I'd be shoring things up by bringing a defender or two in as well, so there isn't as much reliability defensively on Frimpong, but offensively I can think of worse options, and he would help bring the average age of Manchester City's squad down. Now moving on, we've got an update on Ederson over at Atalanta, and the Telegraph have said that Ederson is under serious consideration at Manchester City. Atalanta aren't believed to be interested in selling in January, but it is believed that Ederson would be interested in making a move to Manchester City, so a price would have to be negotiated, and Man City are going to come across the difficulties here of negotiating for players in the January transfer window. Players don't want to leave their clubs mid-season, and clubs don't want to sell their best assets mid-season either, because it's so difficult to replace players. So unless we're going after players with release clauses or players who have handed in transfer requests or making moves for players where clubs need to sell in January, City are going to struggle to make these signings happen in January. But that moves us nicely on to Martin Zubimendi, because he does have a release clause, which means it is a very doable transfer for Manchester City in January. And the Telegraph have said that Zubimendi does have doubts about a move to England. He has doubts about a move to Manchester City. He fears that once Rodri's back to full fitness, he's going to be understudy, he's going to be on the bench, and he's not going to be featuring and playing alongside Rodri. And because of that, he would like to give himself more time and wait until the summer before making a decision on his future at Real Sociedad and where he wants to go from there. So again, a doable transfer, but Man City facing a lot of difficulty. So which way do Man City choose to make a move for remains to be seen. We also have an update on Bruno Guimaraes over at Newcastle United, and Paul Hirst, reliable with City information, has said that Bruno G is keen on a move to Manchester City, and he would be open to a move in the summer, apparently be open to a move in January if City decide to come knocking. Now ESPN have said that Manchester City would like to make a move for Bruno G in January. They'd like to make a move for Zubimendi as well. I'm not entirely sure that one will happen or either will happen. We'll have to wait and see. But to me, I'd love Bruno G at Manchester City. I think he'd be a really good fit for City in the absence of Rodri, and also once we get Rodri back, because he can play alongside him. To me, Bruno G would be the perfect İlkay Gündoğan replacement, and İlkay Gündoğan, we brought him in, it's on a one-year deal, his contract's up in the summer. If City don't extend that deal beyond that, then Bruno G naturally comes in and he can go into that Gündoğan role in midfield for Manchester City. He can play further afield, he can play and drop deeper as well, he can play in that number 6, number 8 role, complement Rodri really well, and also alternate with him too. He would be my ideal signing, and news from Newcastle is that they may need to sell to try and meet financial fair play and the financial restrictions put in place by the Premier League. So if I was City, putting a really good offer in January, if Bruno G's keen on the move, then we'll have to wait and see. But to me, Bruno G would be a really good signing for Manchester City. If we can get a good price for him too, then big thumbs up from me. But to me, that deal should have been done last summer rather than in January, but here we are. Anyway, moving on, we've got the latest on Florian Wirtz, and the Telegraph have said that he is a player that Manchester City want, and Man City want to replace Kevin de Bruyne with Florian Wirtz. Now, there were rumours going around that City could make a move for Florian Wirtz in January to try and get the ball rolling. I have doubts about City making a move for Florian Wirtz, not just in January, but altogether. Anyway, Bayer Leverkusen, they don't want him to end up at Bayern Munich. There's lots of interest coming in from City, from Real Madrid. The Telegraph have said that Manchester City, if they don't choose to make a move for Florian Wirtz, are having a look at a couple of players from the Premier League, including Eberechi over at Crystal Palace and Cunha over at Wolverhampton Wanderers. And then it was being reported just a couple of days ago from sources in Germany, Kicker to be exact, they have said that Bayer Leverkusen now have an agreement in place with Florian Wirtz, which is going to see him sign a new contract extension at the club, which is going to guarantee that he stays at the club past this summer, despite interest coming in from Bayern Munich, from Real Madrid and Manchester City. So that closes that chapter for me for 2025. where do we go? Kevin de Bruyne, if he leaves, which is to me looking likely that he does, who do you make a move for? Musiala, brick wall. Florian Wirtz, brick wall. Cunha, are they Kevin de Bruyne replacements really? They're versatile, good squad players, but does it improve Manchester City? Our long term, are they our Kevin de Bruyne replacement? It underwhelms me a little bit. I'd love to know your thoughts anyway in the comments. I'm not saying that there'd be bad signings. I'm just saying that when we're talking about the calibre of a player like Kevin de Bruyne, I'm talking one of the best central midfielders ever, to then say I'm going to replace him with Cunha or Eze, not for me. Anyway, moving on. Quick one. Last one as well. Antonee Robinson. Got the latest on him. The Fulham left-back apparently wanted by Manchester City according to GiveMeSport. City like him. They've been impressed with him both this season and last season. Fulham, well aware of interest coming in from him, have decided to increase his value for January up to £40 million. It's not impossible that Manchester City decide to make a move for him in January. Question is, though, how do we fit a left-back into our squad? We don't have a traditional left-back at Manchester City, so we tick them boxes. And if Manchester City want to revert back to a back four, then Antonee Robinson would be a really good signing, because to me, he's one of the best left-backs in the Premier League, available for a really good price. Decent age, 27 years old, American international, really good player. Watched him against Liverpool against Fulham the other day, and he did a brilliant job, Robinson did, of marking Mohamed Salah, one of the best players, one of the best wingers, not just in the Premier League but in the world. He looked outstanding, and it's not the first time that he's really stood out. He can up his game and then some. He's a really good player. He's a player I'd really like. My only reservation I have is I'm not too sure how City would fit a traditional left-back into the squad, so I have to ask, because City like versatile players, how versatile is Antonee Robinson? Can he play left wing? Can he play centre back? Can he play defensive midfield? Can he invert? What can he do? If we're just looking for an out and out left back who can defend, Antonee Robinson would be a really good option. He's pretty good getting forward too. £40 million? Is it worth a dibble? Let me know in the comments below. So there we go. That has been today's transfer update. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. We are aiming for 200 likes. Also, don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Which player would you like to see City make a move for in January? Also, don't forget to subscribe. Remember, daily Manchester City transfer updates coming from January 1st throughout the whole January transfer window to keep you guys up to date with all the latest City transfer news. Looks like it's going to be a really busy one for me. You don't want to miss a thing, so make sure you have subscribed. That would be brilliant. It is free to subscribe. Social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all again real soon for the next City video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.